Today's video I will show you how to pick audio files in React Native's new architecture without using any third-party library. So let's get started as usual. Okay, my simulator is still loading. By that time I will tell you guys about the setup. So as usual, just create a React Native application, and once that React Native application is created, you will have, for Android you will have to go to Android Gradle.properties and search for new arc enabled and make that as true. And for iOS you will have to open your terminal, cd to your iOS directory, and then run this command. So this will enable the new architecture for iOS as well. Next, so for Android we will have to use Fabric and Turbo modules, whereas for iOS we will only have to use Turbo modules, because we can launch an avplayer view controller which launches a new controller on iOS, so we don't have to worry about that. But for Android, for playing that audio file, we require a Fabric module as well, and for that we will be using the Media 3 exoplayer dependency. So once that is done, so what you will have to do is firstly create this. Okay, is it loaded? No, it's still loading. So firstly create this folder called RTN my picker. Inside that, so this is a Turbo module, and if you want you can just copy paste the documentation from over here. So not documentation, like the code, I have copied most of the code from this documentation. So firstly just create this package.json file, and inside everything I have copy pasted from the docs, and only this name has been changed, this has been changed, this has been changed, and this has been changed. Next I will go to the podspec file over here, and again I have copy pasted everything from the docs, and only this name has been changed. Okay, so here is the output. So I will quickly show you the output. So if you click on pick audio, it will launch your file picker or the files app and show you all the audio files. So I will just select one, then it launches an avplayer controller. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but yeah, this is how it will play the audio for you, and for same output for Android as well. So I won't show the Android output. One issue for Android is that I'm not sure, I was not able to see the play pause buttons. I'm not sure why. Like I have integrated this player library exoplayer library multiple times in my previous tutorial as well. Like for this I'm not sure why I'm not able to see it, but if you know, do let me know in the comments. So yeah, create a podspec file and only change this name, everything else remains the same. Next, create a JS file. Inside that I have created a TypeScript file, and again I have copy pasted everything from docs, and only I have added this method called pick audio, and this name has been changed, everything else remains the same. Next, inside Android I have created this build.gradle file, again copy pasted from the docs, and I have added this apply plugin Kotlin Android as well as Kotlin standard lib dependency, and this namespace has been changed. Next, inside src main java.com rtn my picker package.kt, again I have copy pasted this from docs, only this name has been changed, and this my picker modules has been changed at respective lines. Next, I have created my picker module.kt. Now unfortunately, because of the way Turbo modules are structured, I have to use a hack. So I know we don't need to request for explicit internet permission, but I have to use this workaround, because this will give a callback to the main activity over here, and rest of the code has been returned to the main activity, which way I will show you in a bit. And make sure this name is correct, everything else is copied from docs, like only names has been changed, and here I'm just requesting for the internet permission over here. Next, go to RTN my player. So this is a Fabric module, and it is only specific for Android, we won't be using for iOS. Okay, so firstly create a package.json, again I have copy pasted it from the Fabric documentation, and only this name has been changed over here, this name has been changed, and this name has been changed, this one, everything else remains the same. And next, created a JS folder. Inside that I have created a TypeScript file, and we will be passing the URL, because once you pick an audio file from for Android, we send the URL from native side to React Native side, and then we send this URL from React Native side to back to the native side, and this name has been changed. Next, inside Android I have created this build.gradle file, again I have copy pasted it from the docs, and I have just added this extra line of Kotlin Android. This namespace has been changed, and I have added this Kotlin standard lib and added this media 3 dependency because we need to play the audio using exoplayer. Next, inside src I have created main java com rtn my player, and firstly I have created my player package.kt. Again I have copy pasted this from docs, and only this file names has been changed. Okay, next I have created my player manager.kt. again copy pasted it from the docs, only this names has been changed at appropriate lines. Okay, and the important thing to note is this prop, because I have set the URL, and here we are calling the setup player, which I have defined it inside my player.kt. so we are passing the URL to the setup player method, and here this is how we are setting up our player. So firstly I am extending from linear layout, as well as I am including this lifecycle event listener as well. This is the code setup code for exoplayer, and here I am defining our player view. Then I have added this add event listener as well, and this is setting our linear layout. Here we are creating our player view, adding it to our linear layout as well. Next, this is the setup player, which gets called from the manager class, and if there is any player we are releasing it and making it as null and setting up our new exoplayer instance. And this is the code for releasing our player. So on host resume, if you want you can write this code. Like, this is not necessary, but on host pause and on host destroy, so we are releasing the player. Okay, so that's it for Android. Next, no, not that's it. Like, next you will have to go to the main Android folder, go to build.gradle, make sure you add this Kotlin version over here as well as this class path over here. Next, go to app, go to build.gradle, add this apply plugin Kotlin Android, as well as you will have to add apply Kotlin standard lib, and you will also have to add this activity extension because we will be using register for activity result. Next, go to src main android manifest.xml and make sure you have this internet permission, because we are requesting the internet permission as a workaround for our turbo modules. Next, make sure you open this Android folder inside Android Studio. Make sure you use the Android Studio feature to convert Java class to Kotlin class. Once that is converted, you will have to add this 2 bit of code because we will be checking whether the internet permission has been granted or not. Okay, and once that is granted, we will come over here. So from the turbo module, we will get a callback over here, and we will just search for audio/star. Because we require the all the audio files from our file explorer. And once the user picks an audio file, we will just send it back to the React Native side, but we will convert it to a string. So yeah, that's it. Next, before running the Android app, what you will have to do is open your terminal, go to the root of your React Native project, first run this command. Once you run this, then you will have to run this command as well, and then you will have to do cd ... it will move you outside your React Native project. Then you will have to run this command, but make sure my project name is rnapp, so you make sure you change it to your project name. So over here and over here as well, followed by the folder name created. Next, run this command, but make sure you change your project name over here and over here. Then you will have to do cd to the main Android folder and then run this command, then cd to the iOS folder and then run this command. So now to use it, so I have created 2 views, Android view and iOS view. So if you check the Android view, firstly I have just created a button and which will pick the audio, and here we are listening for the audio, and once we get the audio, I'm just making the RTN my player visible as well and just playing that particular URI. Similarly for iOS view as well, I have just created a button, so we don't require the player because that is automatically handled by the iOS side using avplayer view controller. And here I'm just importing our library and just picking the audio. Now for the iOS side, what you will have to do is firstly, I don't think we require any permission as such. No, I don't think we require. I am not sure why I have included this permission, but we don't require any permission. Next, we will have to create this header file for RTN my picker. Again, I have copy pasted this from docs, and only this name and this name has been changed. Next, I have created an Objective-C file, but make sure you change the extension to .mm. Again, I have and before you write this code, make sure you create a Swift file called my picker. And once you created Xcode will ask, do you want to create a bridging header? Just click on yes, Then again go back to your Swift Objective-C++ file, and again this I have copy pasted it from docs, and only this name has been changed. This should be your bridging header name. Again this is our file name, and here we are initializing our Swift file, this bit of code, and again this has been copied from docs, and only this name has been changed. And here we are overriding our pick audio, and on the main thread I am calling the pick audio of our Swift file. Now if you go to the Swift file, I have imported all this stuff, and you have to extend your document picker delegate. Here we are initializing our avplayer and player controller, and once the pick audio is called, we open the document picker, and here this is, so here you can see I'm passing the MIME type as audio, so it will only show audio picker audio files from our files app. And once an audio has been selected, I'm initializing our avplayer as well as player controller, and I have also added an observer. Here we are presenting our avplayer controller, and the reason why I have added an observer, so as soon as the avplayer controller is ready, I am observing it, and if it is ready to play, I am also playing the audio. But if you don't want to play the audio automatically, you can remove this code. You don't need this, and you don't need this as well. So that's it. Okay, now that we have created now that we have created a module for RTN MyPlayer, even though we are not directly using it in iOS, we will have to create these header files and Objective-C files, otherwise it will result in error during build time. So even though we are not using this, we have to create a basic code for it. So I have just copy pasted this from the Fabric side of documentation. So only this name has been changed. Again created an Objective-C++ file. This name has been changed. This has been changed. This has been changed. Okay, this has been changed, and here I have added my own name, like not our folder name. Here this name has been changed. Like this does not matter really, but yeah, this again over here name has been changed, and this name has, again I created a manager class. Make sure the extension is .mm. Again copy pasted it from docs, and only names has been changed. So yeah, that's it for iOS as well. Thank you for watching. Bye.